Hi everyone, my name is Dexter and today would have been Michael Jackson's 55th birthday. And I just think that it's an appropriate time now for me to answer the question that I've been asked so many times over the years and a lot more frequently this year. And that question is, how did I become a Michael Jackson fan? It started when I was about 3 years old and my mom bought this CD. I've got it here. It's called That Loving Feeling Volume 2. And I mean, it's a compilation CD, so it had like different artists on it and everything. But there was only one song in here that I really liked, and I'd have to play it over and over again. I mean, I always had to have someone else play it for me because as a 3-year-old, I wasn't allowed to operate the stereo system myself. I mean, in hindsight, there are a lot of songs here that I enjoy now. I mean, there's Don't Speak by No Doubt, Every Time I Close My Eyes by Babyface, Wonderwall by Oasis, lovely song. Yeah, there's lots of songs that I enjoy now, but back then I only enjoyed one song, and that was number 4. If you can see, number 4, Will You Be There by Michael Jackson. And this song would play over and over, and then my parents noticed that I was listening to this one song, and I didn't know who Michael Jackson was. Essentially, he was just a name on the back of the CD, but they obviously knew because they were in their 20s when Thriller came out. So they noticed I was listening to the song and they showed me another CD, which was coincidentally That Loving Feeling Volume 1. And I don't know if the compilers of the CD really like Michael Jackson or something. I don't see who wouldn't. But you can see on CD 2, the first track is I Just Can't Stop Loving You. And I listened to the song. I never listened to any of the other songs. I mean, we've got Elton John, Whitney Houston, The Fugees, Celine Dion, Queen, Simon and Garfunkel, Cyndi Lauper, Gloria Estefan, but I never gave a crap about those people. I didn't know who they were. So I listened to I Just Can't Stop Loving You, and I didn't like it. Love it now, didn't like it when I was 3. So I was like, okay, throw that out the window. Let's continue listening to this. Then my parents asked my neighbor to borrow this CD, which is History, which is a 2-disc set. And what they did was they recorded the first disc, which was the greatest hits. They recorded that onto a tape, all 15 tracks, which are Billie Jean, The Way You Make Me Feel, Black or White, Rock With You, Bad, Man in the Mirror. I'm not going to read all of them out. And that's how I became familiar with those tracks. And I would play that cassette until it was worn out, until it was dead. I mean, the tape was getting distorted and the sound was slowing down. I literally wore it out. So this was all when I was about 4 years old. And around that same time, I got this, which was Michael Jackson History on Film, Volume 2. And you might ask, I'm about 4, this would have been about 1998. Woohoo, 90s kid. If this is 1998, how did I have it on DVD? And the answer to that question is, I didn't. I had it on VHS. You can see, I mean, I didn't take very good care of it, but it's all in here. It's all in here. It's right there. I literally don't have the technology to play this anymore, but I still keep it. This is how I became familiar with Billie Jean, the Motown performance, the first moonwalk. Well, I mean, the first time Michael Jackson did the moonwalk. The Beat It music video, Liberian Girl, Smooth Criminal, Thriller, Scream, Childhood. You get the point. Now, I know that this was around this time because the year that I turned 5, the school that I went to, I mean, I don't know, it was the year before preschool. I don't know what you'd call it here. Preschool? I don't know. But that year, I remember that I would take my little Michael Jackson hat, and every lunch I'd make sure I finished my lunch really quickly, and so that I'd have time and I just do a little Billie Jean impression in the playground. I remember all the children used to watch me, but I didn't give a crap, really. So that's how I know that I was that young, because of this milestone, because of this landmark in time. Then, in 2001, I was 7. In 2001, I went to Australia to visit my auntie, uncle, and cousin who lived there. But before going there, we went to my mother's friend in Perth. My auntie lived in Melbourne and my mother's friend lived in Perth. So we went to Perth first, and my mother's friend had this CD too. As I told you before, the cassette had been worn out. So what my mother did for Christmas, which is, I mean, I appreciate it because I got the music, but it's quite a cheap Christmas gift. This is when piracy was still starting, or CD piracy. My mother copied the CD, the first disc of the history CD. She copied it to a blank CD, and this is literally the CD. I still have it. I haven't listened to it in forever, but this is the CD that she copied for me. So now I had those 15 tracks all over again. That's not the only thing that happened in Australia. When I got to Melbourne, I bought the Invincible album, which had just come out in September, and I was there in December. I bought that album on cassette. And in that year also was the broadcast of Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary celebration concert, which I recorded again on VHS in Australia. I thought, because in the beginning of, you know how as a child you think you know things, but you really don't. You don't know what you're talking about, right? So in the 30th anniversary celebration concert, Samuel L. Jackson opened it up, and I was convinced that because his surname was Jackson, he was one of the Jackson 5. So this is the part of my story where I speed up and don't give you a count by count version of over the years. But I started my Michael Jackson collection in terms of CDs, I think it must have been about 2005. But just a long story short, these are my albums. You can see, I don't know how well you can see there. So it ranges from the Jackson 5 on the left to the early Michael Jackson years. You have Victory by the Jacksons. Then you have Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous. Well, History's here next to me, it's not part of this pile. Then it's Blood on the Dance Floor, Invincible, The Essential Michael Jackson, Michael, which was the posthumous album which came out in 2010. And then Michael Jackson, The Immortal, those remix albums. So yeah, you can pretty say I've got most, if not all of it. Okay, then DVDs. And so I've already showed you that I had this on VHS. Then I've got Michael Jackson Live in Bucharest, Michael Jackson #1, Michael Jackson This Is It. Oh, what I didn't show you is that I bought Bad 25, which means I've got the performance, the band tour at Wembley in here, as well as the Bad 25 demo album. In 2009, I bought this, the Michael Jackson Ultimate Collection. It has 32 DVDs inside here. It's all pretty. And so I've got all the stuff that I had before. It's got an MP3 of all the Michael Jackson songs that had been released up to that point. Remember, this was 2009. It had DVDs. See, I bought this from Hong Kong, so there's a Chinese writing under the English. I hope you can see it. So I got the Michael Jackson 1 DVD, Michael Jackson Bad Tour in Yokohama and Brisbane, Australia. Got the Dangerous Tour in Bucharest again. History tours in Sydney, Australia, the Philippines, South Korea, Romania, New Zealand, Finland, Sweden, Copenhagen, Kuala Lumpur, Taipei, which is in Taiwan, Korea, Munich, Germany. That's Munich, Germany, not Munich, Germany, just for those who suffer from bad geography. It has Captain EO, it has the 30th anniversary concert, Moonwalker, which also I did have as a separate DVD, but I can't find that at the moment. Whoops. It has the private home videos of Michael Jackson. Got the Thriller sheet music. I've got the #1s. This one's a bit dilapidated. This one was the first one I ever got, but in 2007. Also got the history book. Also one of my favorites, I've got the book for Michael. So the thing is, people come to me, or people who've known me for a while, they ask me, after a while of knowing me, they say, "Oh, so you really like Michael Jackson, huh? Could I make it any more obvious?" Thank you guys so much for listening. Please like this video if you did like it. If you want to leave a comment about, let's say, how you became a Michael Jackson fan, or what you thought about my story, please do so. Thank you.